Very good morning. So today we are going to discuss about another important area with reference to seed production. That is principles of seed production and the factors affecting seed production and the physical and genetic contaminants. So these are all the aspects we are going to cover today through this video lessons. Before that, I wanted to acknowledge Dr. Vinodini for preparing all these slides. Then two principles we have to follow with reference to production of seed with assured quality. The first principle is related to the genetic principles. The second one is the agronomic principle. So that agronomic principles more of related with that crop management activities, whereas genetic principle that is somewhat science oriented. So that also play a major role. We have to adapt that particular principle, then only that resultant material with assured genetic purity and remaining seed quality we can ensure. In that genetic principles, a lot of things are there. We can see one by one. So in the case of angiosperms, that seed production is it's an outcome of the pollination and fertilization process. So the pollination behavior of the crop will vary from crops to crops. Some of the crops are self-pollinated, some of them are cross-pollinated, some of them are often cross-pollinated. Often cross-pollination means that plants are placed in between self-pollinated and cross-pollinated crops. In the case of often cross-pollinated crop, there is a chance for occurrence of cross-pollination from 5% to 30%. So that kind of plants are normally known as often cross-pollinated. Example for often cross-pollinated crops are red gram, sorghum. So these are all some examples with reference to that often cross-pollinated crops. Whereas in the case of self-pollinated crops, both male and female organs going to be there in the one and the same flowers. So whatever that pollens are produced, that will pollinate the stigma of the same flower. Okay, so this is the thing, self-pollination. Whereas in the case of cross-pollination, the exchange of the pollen between two flowers will occur. So like this. So here that pollen will transfer from here to there. So example for cross-pollinated crops are that maize, sunflower, bajra. So these are all some examples. Whereas examples for self-pollinated crops are that pulses except red gram. Red gram comes under that often cross-pollinated crops. So black gram, green gram, paddy, wheat, oat. So these are all some examples with reference to self-pollinations. So based on the pollination behavior, the cultivations, that crop management activity and the land preparations and planting designs, everything will be vary. So that and all we can see in the agronomy principles. So that seed is the outcome of the pollination fertilization. So that is regulated by either self-pollination or cross-pollination, or often cross-pollinations. So here you can see some of the mechanism that is responsible for occurrence of only self-pollination in certain crops. So the first one is cleistogamy. So this kind of mechanism is reported in the case of Bengal gram. So here that flower will open, the flower never open. So even after pollination fertilization also the flower never open. So because of that, here these plants are strictly self-pollinated in nature, cleistogamy, whereas another one is chasmogamy. So this mechanism is reported in the case of paddy and wheat. So these two are some example for chasmogamy. In this case, the flower will open only after pollination fertilization is over. So the opening of the flower occur only after pollination fertilization is over. So this resulted in the occurrence of the self-pollination in the case of wheat and paddy. So this mechanism is a chasmogamy mechanisms. That another mode is particularly in the case of peas, soybean, and green gram. So the stamens and stigma are hidden by other floral organ, particularly the keel petal, that will completely hide the stamen and stigma. So because of that, in the case of pulses, so that self-pollination is the rule. In another cases like tomato and brinjals, so tomato and brinjal, in these cases, stigma is completely surrounded by the anther. So the stigma is completely surrounded by the anther. So because of that, in the case of tomato, so the self-pollination is a rule. So these are all some floral arrangement that decide the pollination behavior of the crop. Whereas that cross pollination that also governed by some mechanisms. So in that one of the mechanisms is a tricliny or monacy or unisexuality. So this mechanism is reported in the case of maize and castor. In the case of maize and castor, that is under monoecious systems, both male and female flowers occur one on the same plant but at different places. Particularly in the case of maize, the tassel is a male flowers that will occur in the terminal part, whereas the cob is a female part that occur in the middle of the plants. So both male and female flowers going to be there in the one and the same plant, but their location is different. So because of that, this particular thing is grouped under monoecious category. Similarly, in the case of castor, that male and female plants occur in separate flowers, but both of them occur in the same plants. So that is a thing. So that is a monoecious mechanism. That another mechanism is a tiocy. So here that male and female flower occur in two different plants. So this is very common in the case of papaya. So this is a male tree. So these tree produce only that flower with stamens, whereas the female tree. So this tree produce flower with the stigma, style, and gynoeciums. So here both male and female flowers going to occur in two different trees, whereas in the case of monaceae, both the male and female that form that will occur one on the same plant but at different locations. So these are all the things with reference to the cross pollination. So this mechanism is known as tricliny mechanisms. That another mechanism is trichochemy. So trichochemy means that uh, time of attainment of maturity of the that pollen grains and the gynoecium will vary. Both of them not mature at same times. So in the case of a protokinase, again trichochemy, two mechanisms are there, protokinase and protoandry mechanism. So protokinase mechanism is reported in the case of Bajra, whereas protoandry mechanism is reported in maize. Under protokinase mechanisms, so that gynoecium will attain maturity first. At the time of attainment of that gynoecium maturity, the pollen not yet attain maturity. So because of that, so that if at all this particular thing wanted to get fertilized means that always receive pollen grain from the nearby plants. So that is a protokinase mechanism. Here that gynoecium will mature first when compared to that anther. Whereas protoandry, that anther will mature first. At the time that stigma remain and in the process of development, so that not yet attain maturity. So because of that, in this case also the cross pollination is a rule. Okay, so protokinase mechanism is reported in Bajra and protoandry mechanism is reported in maize. So trichochemy means difference in maturity of the male and female organ. So that is a trichochemy. That another mechanism, so these mechanisms are reported in the case of a sunflower. So that is a self incompatibility. So here that self incompatibility means both gynoecium and stamens going to be there one and the same flower, like that hermaphrodite flowers. But the problem is whatever the pollen produced by that particular flower not able to pollinate the gynoecium of the same plant. So both, even though both male and female organ going to be there in the one and the same plant, but the pollen of that particular flower not able to pollinate the stigma of that particular flower. So that is a self incompatibility mechanism. So again, this have so many classification. In short, two classifications are there: sporophytic self-incompatibility and gametobiotic self-incompatibility. In the case of sporophytic self-incompatibility, that incompatibility reaction is governed by the plant from which that particular pollen is produced. That genotype of the plant from which that pollen is produced, that is a sporophytic self-incompatibility. Another one is a gametobiotic self-incompatibility. In that case, the pollen genotype itself responsible for that incompatible reactions. Here you can see. So that the plant that produce that pollen, I mean the flower that produce that pollen, that landed on the stigma, but that not able to pollinate that one. Okay. So in that case, In order to form a seed, this always demand pollen from the other flowers. Okay, so this because of that, these particular plants also comes under the cross-pollinator category. The examples are cauliflower and sunflower. So these are all the things. So far we discussed about the plants and their pollination behavior. So that plants and pollination behavior are also play a major role with reference to that seed production, and that will decide that isolation distance, all those parameters. Then another major thing with reference to that hybrid seed production is concerned, we need to have a female parent and male parent. So the male, female, that and all possible only in the case of animal systems. We have a male animal and female animal separately. The human beings also we have a male and female separately. Whereas in the plant systems, only very few cases alone we have a male tree and female tree. Example papaya. But in most of the cases, particularly the crop like rice, that a male organ, female organ going to be there, one and the same flower, not even the same flower at a different places. One and the same flower, both male and female organ going to be there. Similar in the case of cotton, both stamen and gynoeciums, that is present on the same flower. So in order to produce a hybrid in those crops, we need to have a female parent. If you say one plant is a female parent, means that should be male sterile nature. So that another one we need to have another that is a pollen donor or male parent. So for this purpose, here we have to use some tools to create male sterility and to have a female fertile plants. So then only that hybrid circulation is possible. So for this purpose, that tools like emasculation and tea tasseling. So emasculation is very commonly followed in tomato and cotton, and tea tasseling is a very specific operation for maize for hybrid seed production purpose. So this and all we are going to discuss one by one, and then some genetic mechanism, that is a cell organelles also responsible for the generation of the male sterility. So those male sterilities are genetic male sterility system, in short called as a GMS, then cytoplasmic male sterility, in short called as a CMS, then cytoplasmic genetic male sterility system, cytoplasmic genetic male sterility system, otherwise known as a three-line systems. Then environmental sensitive genetic male sterility system, in short called as a ESGMS, then chemically induced male sterility. Like that, so many mechanisms are there. So by adapting any one of these tools, any one of these spreading tools, we can create a female line. A female line means strictly a male sterile one. Then only that a hybrid cell production is possible. So now we are going to discuss about one by one. So the first one is the emasculations. Emasculation is very commonly followed in the case of a tomato and cotton. So under the emasculation process, we are going to remove that stamen from the female line. So we are going to remove manually, we are going to remove the staminal columns from the female line. Say example, this is a if you consider this is a female plant, means one day prior to flower opening, we have to identify the unopened bolls. So manually we have to, with the help of our nail, we have to pierce the nail and remove that petals. If you try to remove the petals, automatically that stamen that attached with the petals also will come out. So that is that process normally known as emasculation. So here they are doing that emasculations. So here we have to remove the petals. So at the time of removal of the petal, you have to ensure that whatever that staminal column that attached to the petal, that should come along with the petals. So at any cost, while you are doing so, you should not create any injury to the gynoecium or stigma or style. That should be remain intact. And once that emasculation is over, after that there won't be any residue of the staminal part in this particular flower. But anything is there, definitely that will attain maturity, that will donate the pollen. that again that self pollination will be the rule. So under emasculation process, what we are going to do is we are going to manually remove the staminal column of the female flowers. Once that staminal column is removed, then automatically that flower become a female fertile and male sterile nature. So then we can collect the pollen from the male parent that will be applied on that emasculated flowers. From that, the petal any pollination fertilization take place that will give us a bowl. That bowl will be a hybrid nature. So this is a process normally known as emasculation. The same process is followed in tomato, brinjal, and bendi and all. So it's manually we are creating male sterility. So the next mechanism is T-tasseling. This also manually we are going to create a male sterile plants in the case of a maize. So in the case of maize, this process is very easy because that a male and female flower occur at a different places in the same plant. I already told you that a tassel will appear on the top. So this is a male part. The carp, that is a female part, that will be in the middle part of the stem. So if you wanted to have a female fertile plant and male sterile means as and when that the tassel that emerges from the fruit leaf. So normally that the flowering period of maize is 2 to 14 days, 2 weeks period of time. So once today that comes to one plant comes to flowering means for getting flower in all the plants that will take another 14 days. Another thing is today that tassel that come out of the leaf, wood leaf, that is the topmost leaf means within another 2 days that will ready for setting up the pollens that will start to spread the pollens. So within 2 days of emergence, we have to remove the tassel from the female parents. So we have to remove the tassel from the female parent. So these process is normally known as a T-tasseling. So that is a manually we are going to remove the tassel from the female parent. So during that process, what we have to do is we have to hold the plant with our left hand. So that is shown here, and that holding is just below the top leaf. Then by using that right hand, at one stroke, we have to pull out this particular tassel. At one stroke, we have to pull out the tassel. So that should be, we have to do within 2 days of emergence of the tassel from the food leaf. So once you do so, automatically that plant become a female fertile and male sterile. So these plants will be used as a female parent for a hybrid seed production process. Hybrid seed production process. So the thing is that removal of the tassel should be complete. If at all anything is remain, any left out material is remain within the plant, the next day due to elongation process that will come out of the fruit leaf that will start to donate the pollen. So that will create a lot of problems in the hybrid separation operations. So we have to completely remove the tassel from the female parent. So that is very very important. So this is a T-tasseling process. So this is a very specific process for the maize. So that emasculation as well as T-tasseling is a manual way of creation of the male sterility for the purpose of hybrid seed production. And then again, some of the male sterility mechanism is governed by the gene. So that gene may be placed in the cytoplasms or in the nucleus. That the first mechanism is the cytoplasmic male sterility mechanisms. So here this male sterility is governed by the cytoplasmic gene. Cytoplasms normally that how that mitochondria and chloroplast. So this will be the mitochondria and chloroplast will be there. So that mitochondria and chloroplast also have a nuclear material. So that also have a nuclear material. So normally the chloroplast and mitochondria very popular known as a prokaryote within a eukaryote. So mitochondria and chloroplast are almost equal to a prokaryotic systems. So other than nucleus, that cell have a that DNA and RNA in the mitochondria and chloroplast also. In the case of cytoplasmic male sterility, so the male sterility governing genes are located either in the mitochondria, most of the cases in the mitochondria. So now that gene responsible for male sterility and cytoplasmic male sterility is governed by the cytoplasm, not by the nucleus. So this kind of mechanism is there. Automatically, that particular plant not able to produce any viable pollen grain. Automatically, they will become a male sterile and a female fertile nature. We can use these plants as a female for hybrid seed production. That the thing is, once you identify these particular kind of plants, in order to produce more quantity of that hybrid, in this particular case, we have to produce more quantity of this particular female parent. So we have to produce more quantity of this particular female parent. So here the problem is, so this particular plants also male sterile and female fertile nature. So in order to multiply these one, we need to have some maintainer plants. That the plant should be of the male fertile nature. So that plant should be a male fertile nature. If you transfer these pollen from this plant to this plant, automatically pollination will take place. As outcome of that, whatever that characters are there in the A line, the same thing should be multiplied as such. So the resultant material also male sterile nature, because the purpose of doing these crosses to multiply that A line, multiplication of the A line. So for multiplication of the A line, what we are going to do is we are going to cross this line with the another line, so that another chosen line should be almost that character wise similar that of the your or that your female parent, almost similar that of this parent. But the only difference between these two plant is concerned, the cytoplasm of this female plant is sterile one, whereas that selected pollen donor or maintainer line is fertile nature. And another important point here is, if you go for crossing of two parents, that the female and male parent, the progeny will be developed. With reference to progeny cytoplasm development, so whatever that cytoplasm is going to be there in the progeny, that everything is given by the female parent. With reference to that progeny cytoplasm formation, the contribution from the male parent is totally nil. So the total cytoplasm of the female is inherited as such. So because of that, the progeny also sterile nature, because that whatever the cytoplasm is there in the female parent, that is inherited as such to the progeny. So the progeny cytoplasm also sterile nature. The contribution from the male parent is with reference to that nucleus development. So that is a 50% contribution from the male, another 50% from the female. With reference to nucleus of that male and female is concerned, both of them are one and the same. There won't be any difference. If you compare these two parents, so genetically, so this particular thing is cytoplasm is male sterile nature, whereas cytoplasm is a male fertile nature. That is the only difference. Rest of the characters are one and the same. So because of that, we have to use these kind of plants as our maintenance plants with reference to multiplication of the A line. So here we are making this particular class for the purpose of multiplying that is the female fertile line, male sterile line. So normally that male sterile line is known as a line. Okay, the line used for maintenance and multiplication of the A line is normally known as a B line. Okay, so here we are making that cross between A into B mainly for the purpose of multiplying the A line, because that A line is a male sterile nature, not able to produce any pollen grain. So for the purpose of forming that seed, that always demand pollen grain from the B line. So if you transfer the pollen from B to A, the resultant progeny will be exactly similar that of your A line. There won't be any mixture. Okay. So whatever that seed is harvested, everything is a male sterile nature. That is a in nature. So once that A is multiplied, then we have to go for that hybrid seed production. So for production of the hybrids, we have to cross that A with another suitable, I mean, with another selected. So we have to cross that male sterile line, that is a female fertile line, with the chosen male parent. So here normally we will use a R. So this is a male parent. So we have to make a cross between these two in order to produce a hybrid. As outcome of that, what we will harvest? So here that the cytoplasm is a fertile nature, so that useful character will be available in the nucleus. So here the cytoplasm is sterile nature. So if we make a cross between these two, the resultant progeny will be like this. And that nucleus is developed based on the contribution received from the A into R, but the cytoplasm is sterile nature. So cytoplasm is a sterile nature. So now we are having a seeds. So that is hybrid seeds. If you supply these particular seed for grain production, means the farmer will sow the seeds that will germinate, that will form a flowers, but the flowers are male sterile nature. That particular flower is not able to produce any pollen grain. So at the time what will happen? There won't be any seed set. So there won't be any seed set. So this is a major problem as far as that CMS based hybrid seed production is concerned. So because of that, this particular system is not suitable for hybrid seed production in the case of the crop that have the seed as a economically important part. Seed is economically important part, or seed is a main propagation material. Say example, if you use the system in the case of rice, means so that if you sow that F1, so if you sow that F1 seed material, so that things will form a plants, so that will form flowers, but there won't be any that pollen production. So because of that, we can harvest only straw alone. But here that star is not a economically important one. Further, we cannot use this particular plant as a propagation material. So because of that, this particular cytoplasmic male cellulite system is very commonly recommended for hybrid seed production in vegetatively propagated crops. Vegetatively propagated crops like onion, carrot, and beetroot, almost all the tuber crops. Apart from that, and the fodder crops, because in the case of fodder crops, we are cultivating the crop mainly for fodder purpose, and fodder also we can multiply through rooted cuttings. Okay, so wherever that vegetative propagation is possible, in those cases we can follow that cytoplasmic male because the major problem associated with the CMS is that F1 plant not able to produce any seeds, so that is a drawback. So because of that, these crops is very commonly recommended for vegetatively propagated crops. Another type of male sterility is a genetic male sterility, that is a GMS system. So here that male sterility is mainly governed by the nuclear genomes. So the previous case that male sterility is governed by the cytoplasmic genome. So that is mainly that mitochondrial genomes. Whereas in the case of a genetic male sterility system, the male sterility is mainly governed by the nucleus. So that too that small m, smallest. It's a homozygous recessive gene is responsible for governing that male sterility in most of the plants. So here the problem is the multiplication of the female parental line is a problem. Whereas in the previous case, multiplication of the female parental line is not at all a problem. But in this particular case, the multiplication of the female parental line is problem, because if you cross that female parent with the male parent, so here that male slut is governed by the nucleus. So here that male fertility governed by the that nucleus. Remaining character are same. If you make a cross between these two, the progeny will be developed. So the progeny will have a nucleus and cytoplasm. So the nucleus is the outcome of the contribution received from the male parent as well as the contribution received from the female parent. So more further, that male parents are dominant. The character is a dominant nature, whereas that male selective character is governed by the that recessive. So because of that, if it is a double cross, means here in the case of F1, everything will become a male fertile nature. The purpose of making these crosses to multiply the female parent. So female parent multiplication purpose only we are making these cross. So but what about that outcome? Outcome will be of male fertile nature. So that is the only problems. So in order to overcome these particular problem, what we are doing is at present we are doing that test cross. That is we are making a cross between that female parental line that is crossed with heterozygous male parent, heterozygous male parent, capital M, capital S, small s. It's a capital. It's a heterozygous. So this is almost equal to a F1. So in the test cross, the definition for test cross is crossing of F1 with any one of the crossing of the F1 with the uh, homozygous recessive parent. So if you do so, you will get that the ratio of the 1:1, provided the genes are not linked. The genes are not linked that follow that segregation law of independent assortments, and in that case, definitely we will get that 1:1. So here, 50% of the plants are female female fertile and male sterile. Another 50% of the plants are male fertile nature. But anyhow, in the previous mode, we are unable to produce the plant with the male sterile character. But if you adapt these process, that is, if you make a cross of your female with a heterozygous male parent, there is a chance for 50% male fertile and 50% male sterile. But anyhow, during that hybrid seed production operation, you will use this particular seed. You will sow this particular seed in the female row, the area allotted for the female plant. But there, that 50% of the plants are male fertile nature and 50% of them are male sterile nature. So pure pollination and fertilizations based on the pollen color, we have to identify the plant that have the ability to produce viable pollen grains. Suppose the plant, particularly the system is we are following in the case of red gram hybrid seed production purpose. So during that hybrid seed production operation, this is a means it's a male sterile and female fertile plants. So this will be raised along with the male fertile parents, that is a R line. So in the whatever the seeds sown in the A line, that will have 50% male fertile and 50% sterile. So in that, we have to identify the male fertile plants based on the pollen color. If it is a male fertile, means the pollen color will be lemon yellow in color, and the shape of the pollen also plumpy in nature. If it is a sterile one, means that is a papery and brown nature. So based on these particular pollen morphology and color, we have to identify the male fertile plants from the female parent that should be rogued out. That should be rogued out. So if you started to do that roguing, you have to remove 50% of the populations. You have to remove the 50% of the population. So because of that, in the case of red gram seed production, normally that seed rate per hectare is 20 kg per hectare. So because of these roguing, 50% of the roguing, we have to remove that 50% of the population. Instead of 20 kg, we are recommending 40 kg per hectare, because 20 kg worth material we are going to rogue out, because those plants will be of male fertile nature. So in the female rows, we have to ensure whatever the plants are there, everything should be of male sterile. Then only we will harvest that harvested material will be of hybrid, or otherwise we will harvest that hybrid seeds, the material from the sterile plants and all hybrids, whereas fertile plants and all selfed one. So we will harvest both the A line seed as well as hybrids. So to avoid that one, So whatever that male fertile plants are there in the airline, all those things we have to remove. So we have to remove. So because of that, we are using double the quantity of the seed rate. So this is the only drawback as far as that genetic male sterility based hybrid seed production is concerned. But anyhow, we are following these particular systems for hybrid seed production in the case of red gram in India, whereas in USA they are following the same system for hybrid seed production in the case of castor. So apart from that, another systems also there, that is a environmental sensitive genetic male sterility. So here that gene responsible for male sterility again governed by the nuclear genome, but expression of that particular gene under the control of the that temperature in some of the cases, particularly in that photo period sensitive genic male sterility system, the expression of that male sterile line, that gene is under the control of the photoperiod. Say example, the day length of more than 13 hours, the day length of more than 13 hours, that will promote the or that will favor the expression of the male sterility governing genes available in that particular female parental line. Suppose that the same line cultivated under photoperiod of less than 10 hours means that gene never get expressed, automatically that plant become a male fertile and female fertile nature. There we cannot get any male sterility. That another one is a thermosensitive genic male sterility systems. So here that male sterility governing genes available in the nucleus is under the control of the temperature. So here the temperature is in between 27 to 28 degrees Celsius mean that male sterility gene expressed that plant become a male sterile nature. So at the time we can go for that hybrid seed production. Suppose the temperature at the time of the flowering and all is 24 degrees Celsius or less than 24 means that gene male sterility related gene never get expressed. So at the time the plant become a female fertile and male fertile nature. So these are all the things. That another one is a photothermosensitive genic male sterility system. So here that gene going to be under the control of the photo period as well as thermos, a combination of these two. So these mechanisms also available. So this have its own merit and demerit. So as far as that advantage is concerned, whenever that photo period is more than 13 hours at the time, we can go for that hybrid seed production because at the time this particular plant become a male sterile and female fertile nature. So we can cross with the suitable R line. R line means a male parent. So from that we can harvest. But whenever that photo period is less than 10 hours at the time, we can rise that A line. And so the female parent. So the female parent able to produce a pollen, able to form a viable gynoecium. So because of that, cell fertilization will take place. Automatically, the seed will be multiplied. Here we no need to use any B line and all. So there won't be any problem. So that is a main advantage of this particular thing. The demerits of this system is concerned, throughout the period of times we cannot that go for that hybrid productions. Okay, so that is the only limitation, but they have its own merit. So thermosensitive genic sterility systems, so here also the same process. So the same process. So whenever that temperature is in between 27 to 28, at the time we can go for that hybrid seed production because during that time that airline became a female nature. So automatically we can produce a hybrid. So the temperature is less than 24 or 24. At the time we can go for multiplication of the airline because at the time that the airline able to form a viable pollen grains and gynoecium also there. So through selfing, automatically the airline will be multiplied. So these are all some advantages as far as this particular system is concerned. So here we wanted to use only the two lines, that is a male parent and female parent alone. We don't want any separate parent for the purpose of multiplying the airline material as per that CMS or GMS system. So these are all advantages. But this kind of climatic advantages are there in China. So because of that, they are ruling like anything with reference to hybrid rice productions. The another system, it's a very popular system, that is a cytoplasmic genetic male sterility system. In short, call it as a CGMS systems or three line systems. So here, this is a combination of both cytoplasmic male sterility and genetic male sterility systems. So here we will have that three lines like A line, B line, and R line. A line means that is a female line, some male sterile line. This is our B line, maintainer line, maintainer line. R line is a restorer line, restorer line. So this is used as a male parent during hybrid seed production operations. So here that A line, it's a male sterile line. So the male sterility mechanism is governed by the cytoplasmic genome, like that of that say CMS. Here that male sterility is governed by the cytoplasmic genome. So for the purpose of multiplying that A line, here we are going to use a B line. So B line otherwise popularly known as a maintainer line. So this is mainly for the purpose of maintaining and multiplication of the A line. So by the way of crossing up that A with B, we can multiply that A line. So the multiplied material also will have a male sterile nature. So these and that reason for that male sterility and all that already explained in the CMS itself. Okay. So by the way of crossing that A cross B, we are getting that multiple numbers of the A line with a male sterile nature. Once that A line is multiplied, for the purpose of hybrid seed production, the A line need to be crossed with the R line. R line is a restorer line. It's a male parent. The male parent selected for hybrid seed production. The male parent, this have a restorer, fertility restoring gene in the nucleus. So this will have a fertility restoring gene in the nucleus. So because of that, if you make a cross between A into R, even though the progeny cytoplasm is a sterile nature, due to presence of fertility restoration gene in the nucleus of the R line, the resultant progeny will be fertile nature. Resultant progeny will be fertile nature. So here thing is, we are using one R line, that is a male parent. The peculiar character of that R line is concerned that will have a fertility restoration gene in the nucleus. If we make a cross between these two, the progeny will be developed from the A line that will be fertile because of presence of that fertility restoration gene in the R line. So because of that, the resultant hybrids, if you sow this particular seed material, that will form a plant, that will form a flowers also. The flowers are able to they able to produce a viable pollen, viable gynoecium. There will be a seed set. So because of these particular process very commonly followed, and the crops like that were paddy, then sorghum, maize, sunflower, like that. Whatever the crop in which that seed act as a propagation material and seed act as a economically important point, and there we can follow these particular systems. So this system otherwise known as a three-line system because here we are using that A line, B line, the R line. And B, it's a maintenance line. So that is for maintenance and multiplication of the A line. And for a hybrid cell production purpose, we are going to make a cross between A into R. So due to presence of that fertility restoration gene in R, the progeny will be of male fertile nature. So this is a thing. So this system is very commonly followed for seed production in most of the agriculture crops. So these are all the some male sterility systems. Apart from that, now we have some chemical for inducing male sterility. So this is in short called as a CHA, chemical hybridizing agents. Chemical hybridizing agents, CHA. So by the way of applying these particular chemicals, we can convert the plants into a male sterile nature. Once that plant is a male sterile nature means automatically we can use that material as a female parent for hybrid reproduction. So again, this one also become a two-line systems like that of your thermogenic or photogenic male sterility systems. For rice and rape, we are using that arsenical. So if you apply these particular arsenic chemical, so the rice plant become a male sterile nature. Similarly, the talapan is used in the case of a cotton, pearl millet, wheat, and linseed. and ethipon used as a chemical hybridizing agent in the case of maize, wheat, barley, and oat. And GA3 also used as a chemical hybridizing agent. So that is, if you apply that GA3 on maize, automatically that become a male sterile nature. Then 1,4-methyl 309 for cotton and malic hydroxide on sorghum. So by the way of applying chemical also, we can induce male sterility. So that is a thing. So but attainment of 100% male sterility, still the people they are working, so not able to produce 100% male sterility in female rows. That is the only drawback. If you are able to achieve 100% male sterility in the female rows, means definitely this will be a useful system for hybrid seed productions. So based on different systems, we have a different type of hybrids in the case of that Bajra, Brinjal, and maize, and all those things. So based on the number of parents used and the number of cross made, that hybrids are classified into a single cross, double cross, three-way cross, and a double top cross and a triple cross, like that. In the case of Bajra and Brinjals, we are making a cross between two parental lines, A cross B. So here we are using two inbreds, two parental lines. So that is a single cross. Double cross means here we need to use four inbreds, A, B, C, D, like four inbreds. In that A cross A into A, this one rises separately and this one rises separately. So here that A will act as that female parent, B will be the male parent. So this is another block. C and D will be raised separately. The C will act as a female and D will act as a male. So this will make a cross. So from the A we will harvest that seed. Similarly from the C we will harvest the seeds. The next generation, whatever the seed harvested from the A, that will be used as a female, and whatever the seed harvested from the C, that will be used as a male. Again that will make a cross. Okay. So this is a way in which we will produce a double cross hybrid. So this is very popular in the case of maize and sugar beet. Similarly, three-way cross. So three parental line materials are used, normally known as inbred lines. So here A cross B will be raised in the first generation. In the case of three-way cross, the first generation A cross B will be raised. So this will be the female and this will be the male. The pollen will transfer. From this you will harvest the material. The next generation, the whatever the material harvested from the A will be used as a female, and the C material will be raised, so the pollen will be transferred. From that again will harvest. So that is at a three-way cross material. So this is reported in the case of sweet corn. Double top cross. So this is mainly followed to check the that combining ability of the parents. So this generally we will study in the genetics, or I will tell you in detail while we are discussing that hybrid seed production case of maize. So the double top cross, what we have to do is we have to use two inbred line, and that should be crossed with one open pollinated variety, already available variety. So the single cross is crossed with open pollinated variety, mainly to check the combining ability of the parental lines. And a triple cross, so here that A cross B separate cross, then D cross E separate cross, and then outcome of the A cross B will be crossed with C, and outcome of the D cross E crossed with F. Then again they will collect, and that will be make a cross. So this is a process in the case of triple cross. But in the case of potato and sugarcane, all the type of crossing we are following. So these are all the mechanisms comes under the genetic principles with reference to that seed production is concerned. So in the next video lesson, I will tell you in detail about that agronomic principles related to that seed production. Thank you very much.